Hey guys, Eric Wilson here, and today I'm going over our latest investment opportunity. I just put the Brooks Town Center on this channel about a week or two ago. We closed on that property this past week. So that was my first time putting an investment opportunity actually on my YouTube channel. This one is a little bit different. This one, we actually already own the land for this project. We bought it back in 2022, but now we're raising capital for the actual development. So I'll talk a little bit more about this. Again, I'm putting this on YouTube because I've been slowly chipping away at trying to grow my YouTube channel and try and engage with more people on here. So would really appreciate it if you would give me a comment, like this video. Let me know that people are watching these videos that I do, and I'll keep doing them. I'm very interested in continuing to work on this channel and share more about the projects that we do, how we underwrite properties, and some investment opportunities like here. I'll share these here and there. So again, just let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're watching the channel, and I'll continue to share. So let's jump right in. I actually think I'm going to go a little bit backwards on this presentation, and I'm going to show you what most people want to see right off the bat. All right. Yeah, so this is really what especially if I'm looking at an opportunity as a LP, I want to know right off the bat, dollars and cents, what are we talking about? If I make an investment, what do I get back for my capital? That's what we're talking about on this page. So these are our projections. This is our base case. This is a sample of a $100,000 investment. So if you invested $100,000 into this project, this is what you could expect from us in return based on our projections. So we're starting the development later this year, 2025. So you invest now, the money's in, there's no cash flow. Cash flow will start in 2026. So once this is up and running, it is a very quick build, and I'll go over those details in a bit, but it's a very quick build, so we will have cash flow in 2026. This time next year, we'll be sending out our first distributions. So we're targeting just under 7% in year one, growing to over 8% in year two, and continuing to grow a bit until we ultimately sell the property in 2030. When we do sell, looking back at all the cash flows that come back, about $180,000 returned for every $100,000 invested. So that's $100,000 of principal return plus $80,000 of profit. That's what we're targeting for this investment. The way that we do our distributions, this is pretty standard about how we do most of our projects. For every dollar that is available for distribution, the first priority is return of capital. So 100% of proceeds go to LPs until all LPs have recovered 100% of their capital. Then, once we have proceeds above and beyond that, investors will achieve an 8% cumulative preferred return. Then, once that hurdle is hit, then the GP, us, Freedom Venture, we start to participate in the upside. So from that point forward, it's a 75-25 split. 75% of the cash flows go to the LPs, 25% go to us. So that's when we start to participate in the upside. So if you follow my channel, that's what's called promoted interest, carried interest. That is when we start to actually participate. So again, I wanted to jump to this page because I know that if I was watching this, that's what I would want to see first. So let's go back. All right, so now a little bit more about what the project actually is. It is 15,500 square feet of small bay flex. So there's going to be about 12 to 16 small bay units on this property. It's about a 1.6 acre property that we own. Again, we bought this in 2022. We had a plan for a high-end mixed-use retail and office development. We ended up scrapping that plan because of the construction costs, truthfully. It just became too expensive to build for what we were going to be able to get in return for rents. So we kind of put this project on a shelf. We sat on the land. The land has appreciated significantly. We could sell this land right now and probably double our money, which is something that we strongly considered. But given our belief in the area and we were able to look at the highest and best use, and we were able to find a solution that worked for us. So we decided to move forward with the development. And what we decided on is this flex space concept. And the reason that we went with this is because it is a really efficient build. So very reasonable on the costs. We're not overspending um, or needlessly spending anywhere that we don't absolutely have to. We want to make sure that the building is clean. We want to make sure that it looks good. We want to make a place that businesses want to rent, and we want to make a place that visitors of those businesses want to go to. So that was our goal, and that's what Flex Space is for. It caters to a wide range of tenants. Um, Anyone that would want it to have a polished storefront, but also maybe they need some inventory space or some storage space out back, or get some use out of those garage doors in the bays. That's the type of client. Like we've had a high-end contractor reach out to us. Again, polished showroom up front, inventory out back. We had a wine and cheese boutique reach out to us. So these are the type sort of conversations that we're having. Yield on cost, 6.44%. That's very strong. So that's really like the benchmark of what we like to see before we start a development. Again, this is based on all of our base case numbers. So any numbers that you see in our presentations, could they be a little bit less or a little bit more? Yes, that is the nature of projections. I've always said, I don't know where I heard this, but I'm sure if you've heard this before, if you've been an analyst before, if you've just seen a lot of investment opportunities before, the moment that projections are created, they're wrong. By their nature, they are projections. There are so many assumptions that go into them. You have to go in making sure that you're making sound assumptions, using experience to make the best judgment on what you think the performance will be. But ultimately, it never works out exactly the way that it looks on paper. But you have to be able to look at it on paper and say, okay, if we are, off the mark a little bit here, but maybe we overperform a little bit over here. You have to kind of look at all those things and say, okay, yeah, this makes sense for me. I can wrap my head around this and move forward. So that's what we do. We're very transparent about how we do our underwriting. We share that with everyone in the data room. So take a look at get on a call with me and we can go over all that information. The location of this property is really great. It's in Fort Myers, Florida. It's right off of McGregor Boulevard, which is a major thoroughfare. Runs all the way through Fort Myers, all the way out to Sanibel Island. It also splits off onto San Carlos Boulevard, which takes you to Fort Myers Beach. This is right before that split off, right across the street from a very high-end affluent community called Gulf Harbor Yacht and Country Club. And there's also a very high-end rental apartments adjacent to the property as well. So a lot of residences in the area, but in a really high volume of traffic that passes by this site on a daily basis, over 50,000 vehicles per day. This is more shots of the buildings, what we're actually putting onto the site. So these are renderings, computer generated renderings of what the site will look like once it's done. These are just sample pictures. So this is just a samples of flex space in general, the type of businesses that can go in here. You could have a gym in this sort of space. We've all seen stuff like that. This could be office space. That's what flex space is. It's just a flexible purpose space where it can accommodate a wide range of businesses. Zooming out a little bit, if you're not overly familiar with the location for Fort Myers itself, Fort Myers is between Sarasota and Naples on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Very fast growing area. Uh, there's a lot of business in this region. If you've watched the news, you've seen the hurricanes that have happened in the last couple of years. We've owned a lot of properties throughout this area during that entire time, and we were not negatively impacted. Everything that we build is to hurricane standards. Everything that's built today is to hurricane standards. So the things that you see with when damage comes through with hurricanes, typically it is just the older inventory in the market that sees the brunt of the damage. So felt like I had to say that because it is in that zone that has been hit a couple times in the last couple of years, a lot more so than the previous decade. So figured I would share that. Now, like I said, the location, it sees 50,000 vehicles per day, so a lot of high traffic. The household median income in this area is over $100,000. So again, a lot of that is propped up by some of the more affluent communities, but it's a very strong demographics. The type of residents that you want in an area if your target customer is businesses that want to rent and be near those people. And this whole corridor has a very limited supply of high quality flex space. So even just by us putting out the concept of that we are doing this, we've created a lot of buzz and we've created a lot of inbound leads from potential tenants. The site area is 1.6 acres, so very suitable for what we're trying to build here. Not a massive lot, not a tiny lot either. Very reasonable for the amount of square foot that we're trying to put on there, which is 15,500. $21 a square foot, triple net. That's important. These are triple net leases. $21 a square foot is the market right now. Could be a little bit more by the time we actually put tenants in here, but that's current market. Net operating income a little over $290,000. So again, once we have some expenses, a lot of those expenses are recovered from the triple net. So from the tenants who actually end up ultimately paying for those expenses. We are building this year, so Q3, we're getting started very soon. And like I said at the beginning, we bought this land back in 2022, so we've held on to it for quite a bit. Sources and uses, no debt on this project. We are doing this all cash, so $4.5 million all cash funding strategy. And you can see the breakdown of acquisition costs, hard costs, and soft costs that give us our full $4.5 million. This is a very quick analysis. This is one of the first pages in our pro forma that allows people to make some very simple adjustments and see how some of our assumptions can trigger differences in return profiles. So this is something that we just provide someone to do their own sort of back of the envelope analysis. You can see all of our assumptions as far as what the land costs, the site development, the construction costs. There's no debt, so there's not a lot of super sensitive variables there. They're just zeroed out. But I will call out once this thing is built at a 5 cap in this market, the property is valued at $5.8 million. So that gives us our 6.4 yield on cost. And we are looking to actually, we're only going to be selling this. We're going to be holding on to this thing for like 5 years. That's our base case. If we did hold on to it for 10 years, you can see that the sales price would be $7.8 million. And being sold at that price, we would have an equity multiple of 2.4. But for all of our modeling purposes and for conversations, we are targeting a 5-year exit. Again, we have the flexibility to hold on to it a little bit longer. We can also sell a little bit sooner if we're able to reach our target returns. I already went over this page, but I will leave it up here again, just so people can see $100,000 in, growing annually from 6% over to almost at 9% annual investor yield. Ultimately, once we liquidate, another nearly $150,000 kicked back for the full $180,000 return. So this was a really quick run through. Again, I'm just trying to put these on YouTube to see if there's any interest out here in seeing more opportunities like this. But if that is you, if you are interested, probably the best thing to do would be to leave a comment and I can give you more information about how to access our data room because you do have to fill out a form to request access. And then you review the documents, complete the questionnaire, you sign electronically, and then you fund your commitment from our portal. That is the typical process. So once again, it's great sharing these opportunities. Let me know if you enjoyed this and if you would like to see more. Thanks, Jess.